Hi there boys and girls, and welcome back to the Random Geek channel. I'm the Random Geek, and today we're doing another range test of the Ninebot ES4 scooter. So this time we're doing it in the middle of winter. So it's an amazing, beautiful day. So this is at the local school of where I live, but pretty much don't let the sunny outlook actually confuse you. We are in the middle of a mountain range, and today's temperature is actually 1 degree Celsius. So if it's bright and sunny, it is but freezing cold. I'm actually wearing thermals and I'm all geared up and ready to go. But I have done an impromptu range test in the past, and we got 42 in eco mode, and that was in the middle of spring when I first got this scooter. Then we did the range test again in the middle of summer and 38 degrees Celsius temperatures, and we got 38 kilometers. In my other range test video, which we are currently repeating now. So we're going to use this standardized test track. So we're looping around this school here, and the reason why we're doing that because it has lots of different terrain. So we've got smooth asphalt here, we've got pavers, we've got a steep incline, we've got a decline, and we've got just varying types of terrain that you would normally expect on a commute or a daily ride. Also, I am repeating this because I have noticed that the temperature does affect the range quite dramatically. Obviously, when you're riding any form of vehicle, it all depends on who's driving, the weight of the rider, the terrain, the temperature, all sorts of actual factors. But one of the factors that I have noticed that affects the range substantially is the actual temperature. So this is going to be perfect conditions to actually test it in the cold. So we've gone from 38 degrees to 1 degree Celsius. So for those guys actually playing along in America, or those who are new to the empirical system, that's 34 degrees Fahrenheit. So pretty chilly. So we're just going to go out and we're going to do it again. So my riding weight today is 86 kilos, so roughly 190 pounds. So a bit heavier than normal. That's because I'm all geared up. I've got a lot more camera gear on me as well. So, but that's not going to affect it too much. We'll be measuring the range using the Ninebot app and also my Garmin Phoenix watch. So we're going to do it again and see how we go. Okay guys, and we will I'll be right back and I'll set up and we'll see how this thing fares. So the last time I did this in autumn, it was like 17 degrees, I believe it was, and we saw about a 30% decrease in range. So I'm expecting probably about 40, but we'll see how we go. All right, be right back. And okay guys, and we are off. So we're just riding on the actual pavers here. In terms of riding in Australia, well, in my state anyway, scooters are legal to ride on the sidewalk, as long as you're mindful of your other riders and pedestrians on the road. You just slow down, let them pass. Make sure that you are riding respectively on the road. So we're riding in sports mode. If you've seen my previous videos, always ride in sports mode. Just don't bother in the eco mode unless you're like riding a Lime scooter or Neuron or whatever. So just floor it, like ride it like you stole it. So this is the steep incline. This is roughly about a 20 degree incline. So the great thing about this thing is I floor it. I get probably about 21, 22 kilometers an hour while flooring it in sports mode. Yeah, riding in sports mode, you are going to use the most amount of power on the scooter. Yeah, pretty much it's like you're going to drain this most. So this is the most realistic way because like no one rides it in the other modes. I don't ride it in the other mode because you want to be fast, you want to be zippy, like you want to get out of crowds and stuff. Yep, so now we're going 30 kilometers an hour. max speed. So we're going to slow down this bit here. So this is a really smooth sidewalk here. And this is where it gets really tough because this incline here, this is a 30-degree incline. So this is probably as tough as the hills are actually going to get. And this is why I use this track here, because it's a great thing because different forms of terrain. Speed up here, then we're going to slow down here because it's a really, really steep decline. I am going to use the regenerative brake, so we're going to gain a little bit of power, not much. Regenerative braking is not very efficient unless you're driving probably like a Tesla or an electric vehicle. That's because of the actual potential energy of the hill, converting that to kinetic energy, and also because the car weighs heaps. Unfortunately, I don't weigh like 2.5 tons, so the amount of energy that's going to go back into the battery is very minimal. And this is more rough actual sidewalk here. It's quite bumpy. The suspension on the scooter it does alright, but if I had pneumatic tires, this would have been perfect. But obviously the ES4 doesn't. If you want pneumatic tires, just go for the Ninebot Max. The actual Max ride quality and build quality is a lot better. It's actually a lot. It's about the same price. I bought this one now, so I've got this about 1.5 years ago. And yeah, alright, so this is the actual paver section. It is quite rough. I can feel it through my feet. I'm wearing really comfy shoes. Make sure that you do that. And up ahead, we're going to get the paver section. Alright, so we've got a bit of cyclists up ahead. Be mindful when you're riding. Okay, so slow down. One of the things that this scooter does not have is a horn. I wish it really did have a horn. Alright, so this is mimicking going on the road. So legally, I'm allowed to actually go on the road for if I'm going over like obstacles or trying to overtake someone. But this is mimicking a road. I'm not going to go on the road on this case. Woo! The wind chill is real. I am freezing my butt off. And I'm like wearing like multiple layers in this case. Yeah, this is freezing cold. Shit. Oh, sorry. Didn't mean to swear. Try to keep this as family friendly as I can, but oh, that chill bite. So we're just gonna go around this track. One of the reasons why I also chose this when I was driving around, I was like, oh, I might as well do this, is I wanted to standardize my range test as well, because every time I've done the range test, it's been like just riding around normally, but because the tracks vary, and it wasn't consistent, and I do want to test a lot of other vehicles as well. So we're gonna jog up ahead. So maybe he'll let us pass, but we'll see how we go. Actually, I'm just going to overtake here, and we are going to just use the bike lane to overtake. And back up again. Yes. So I was just saying, so one of the reasons why I chose this track is not only the actual terrain, but also because one lap around this thing is almost exactly 1 mile, so 1.6, 1.7 kilometers, slightly over, I believe. But yeah, so I can use that as a rough measurement as I go along. So just riding along, up this incline again, going 22 kilometers an hour. I don't know, actually 21 actually, 22 now, just hit 22. And yep, so we're just gonna keep it going, and hopefully I won't freeze while doing this. The sun is increasing the temperature slightly, but not by much. I think it's about 3 to 4 degrees at the moment. So a lot of people were posting that there was like, this morning there was like frost in their vehicles and bird baths being frozen and stuff. But yeah, okay, yep, and up again. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch off the camera, and so yeah, so I'm going to go in here and we're going to switch off the actual camera, and I will update you guys periodically as I go along. So just a small stop here, and I'll see you guys in a bit.
One eternity later.
Okay, very first pit stop. So about half an hour in. So according to the app, I've done 31 minutes of riding. My watch slightly over 32 because I started that earlier. The batteries inside have increased temperature by 20 up to 28 degrees now. So according to the app, I've done 12.5 kilometers. And on my Phoenix watch, I've done 11.5. So there is a slight discrepancy in terms of the distance actually measured. I am seeing slight voltage sag, so I'm getting probably about 1 or 2 kilometers lower than what I was getting at the actual start. And that's surprising because normally I won't get voltage sag to about 10%. So the battery is currently at 52%. That's both the internal and the external battery. So the one thing about these scooters here is they are affected greatly by temperature because there's no passive or active thermal management in these scooters. So depending on what the temperature is, you will get a great effect. So this is not looking very good at the moment because I'm only done 11.5 kilometers. So I'll probably only do probably about 21 to 22 kilometers. So this is how badly the actual temperature affects the range. So I'll update you on this second pit stop. So we'll update you in probably another 20 minutes, probably when it dies. Okay, all right, see you guys later.
Eventually.
Okay, final pit stop. So I've actually run down the battery to 5%. So interesting thing to note is I've noticed 2 stages of voltage sag. And that's interesting because normally when you're riding this in normal or perfect weather or even in hot weather, I only noticed voltage sag when the battery hit probably about 10%, and it would die roughly at 4%. In this case, due to the cold weather, I noticed 2 levels, one at 50%, in which I was getting probably at 1 or 2 kilometers lower than normal, and then another one at roughly about 10%, and I was going a lot slower. So the max speed, I was maxing out. So normally I would max out on the scooter probably about 32 kilometers an hour. I was only hitting probably about 26, 27 kilometers. And yeah, it was really like struggling. So I've stopped it at 5% because it just died just now. So in normal warm temperature, it would die roughly about 4% battery. And so the range I got was 24.25 kilometers according to my Phoenix smartwatch. And I've got on the app 26.3 kilometers an hour. Remember, this scooter does not have GPS, so it's just measuring via the rotation of the tires and it's estimating range. So I'm more inclined to use the GPS reading. So yeah, winter and cold weather does really affect the range and quite dramatically. To remember, the ES4 scooter is rated for a maximum of 45 kilometers. That's if you're like at 70 kilograms, riding in perfect 25 degrees, flat roads, smooth like asphalt, and yeah, but no one's at 70 kilometers an hour, well, not if you live in Australia. So this is for me riding at 86 kilograms, and the current temperature is actually 8 degrees Celsius, so it has warmed up slightly, but still pretty cold. And yeah, so on the scooter, on perfect riding conditions, in eco mode, I got 42 kilometers an hour. When I tried it during the middle of summer in 38 degrees temperature, I managed to get 38 kilometers riding in sports mode. In autumn, when I went down to 17 degrees Celsius, I managed to get 30 kilometers. And this final reading, we started off at roughly 3 to 4 degrees Celsius. When I started riding, we ended up at 8. It's still freezing cold at the moment. You can probably see the sky, see those wispy clouds there. Yeah, that's a demonstration of how cold it actually is. Even though it's bright and sunny, it is freezing out here. I'm freezing in my thermals. And literally, yeah, so it would drop down to, I'm going to take the reading via my Garmin Phoenix, so maybe if you're looking, yep, so 1 hour and 5 minutes, and we got 24.25 kilometers. So that's a massive drop in range. So just be aware, if you are riding this scooter here, if you're riding in colder temperatures, just factor that in. These batteries, they aren't insulated, they aren't actively or passively thermally regulated, so the temperature will affect the range quite substantially. And remember, the actual batteries in this, I don't think Ninebot actually use high quality cells. I think they're generic 18650 cells, and I'll be surprised if they're rated at 20C output. Most high quality cells you can probably get 30 to 40, but yeah. Alright, so that's the update. This is probably the final range test I'll be doing in this one here. Keep in mind in the future, I will be getting probably another scooter, or probably a skateboard or something, and we're going to try it on the run as well. But yeah, I'll probably be passing this on to either the wifey or one of the kids, and we'll be going for an upgrade. Okay, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time. Round and Geek out.